Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Strong Collectors Podcast. I'm your host, Dakota, here with my co-host, Jordan, and today we're going to be talking about some of the leaked Marvel Legends that are going to be coming out in 2023. This list comes to us from Rektangular. Now remember, these are just leaks. Also, we should probably put a spoiler alert here. If you are wanting to just watch the live streams and be surprised at what comes out, maybe this isn't the episode for you, but if you're wanting to know what you should be budgeting for next year, it's probably a good idea to know what's coming, because
this is feel like we're on the Titanic, because this is a big leak.
That is very true. Compared to what we got this year, I mean, last year and we had, several waves. This year it feels like we've had 3. And it seems like they're going to be making up for it in 2023 with all of these leaks. And these are usually pretty accurate, so, maybe we'll be off on some of these, but Rectangular is usually pretty accurate.
Our last leaks episode was pretty spot on, wasn't it?
I think so, yeah. I think, I'll have to go back and look at the list, but I think so far everything that we had said on that list has actually come out now. So, I don't know. For me, it's definitely something that, it helps me budget for what's coming out. Yeah. Because I can kind of see this list and know ahead of time rather than being like, oh, hey, the pre-orders are up tomorrow.
Right. Yeah, I kind of hate, or even like today, hey, this will be up for pre-order at 1. It's like, well, it would have been nice to know a little earlier.
Mm-hmm. Definitely gives you a chance to make some room in your collection, maybe sell some collection, maybe not buy some of those other figures. Especially if one of the figures you're wanting is going to be re-released coming up, you may like this newer version better, or at least you'll be able to kind of compare 2 versions instead of just one that's at a really high price. Before we get into the leaks, though, we should be talking about our giveaway with Daryl Young. The poster's in the background, a little bit hard to see. We're doing one of our rare daytime recordings now, but I'll put some up on YouTube for folks that are watching there. We're doing a giveaway with Daryl Young. All you have to do is subscribe on YouTube. Once we hit 200 subscribers, we're going to give away one of his posters. The winner will get to choose which poster that is. He's got everything from Marvel, DC, and some other characters as well. Super fun art. We'll ship that out to you for free. All you have to do is subscribe, and that's it. So I'll link his Instagram and his Etsy. Probably go to his Etsy shop. It's probably the easiest place to see everything he has available. Mm-hmm. Check it out. See which poster you would pick if you were to win the giveaway, and maybe leave a comment down below. Let us know which poster you would choose, because I've got Galactus, Terrax, and Silver Surfer. Jordan also has Silver Surfer.
I've got Silver Surfer, Doctor Strange, and like a Cthulhu style looking Galactus.
Yeah. So
pretty cool.
Lots of fun stuff there. But I think we've got a pretty ginormous list here, so we should probably get right into that. Jordan, you want to lead us off with Ant-Man and the Wasp?
Yes. So as we expected, to coincide with the Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, we're going to get some figures, probably. First few are pretty obvious, I thought. MCU Ant-Man, MCU Wasp. Those are kind of givens, I think.
Right.
The other one's an MCU. Oh, sorry. Are we doing character back and forth, or just can I do
No. You just do the whole wave. Yeah.
Right. And then an MCU Kang, which again isn't real surprising because we know he's going to be a big part of the movie, and you know how these Marvel movies go; they get a different costume every time. So maybe I don't know if he'll have the classic blue look, but I could see him looking definitely different than he did in Loki.
Maybe not wearing the robe, and maybe more of a battle.
Yes, right, something like that. And then we've got Egghead, who I'm going to assume, I don't know. Do we think that's going to be a comic version, or do you think Egghead will show up?
I don't know, because on this list we've got MCU Ant-Man, MCU Wasp, MCU Kang. Mm-hmm. We've got other ones on the list that say comic. This one doesn't say either way, so mystery here.
Either way, I'm not really dying for an Egghead, but
I have no idea who Egghead is.
I don't totally remember either. Then a comic Ultron, which kind of surprises me since we just got not just a year ago, or some Major Ultron, but even then, from my feelings that they pretty much perfected
Yeah.
classic Ultron. So maybe it'll be a more like modern look.
Yeah.
I'm
I,
not
I
sure.
I agree. It's hard to improve on the one they've already done.
So that's interesting. And then Crossfire. I'm trying to remember who that is.
No idea.
Go does no clue. And then the last one is Future Ant-Man question mark. So I guess we can speculate on what that means. What are your thoughts, Dakota, on
I
what
mean,
Future Ant-Man is?
I would kind of assume that would be more of like, I think it was a Toys R Us exclusive. Did like a Marvel Now, like Ant-Man and Wasp, and is kind of like more of a modern take. So then I guess I don't know what a future would look like.
Well, my question would be, I almost lean towards it being an MCU.
Mm,
Like, is there some kind of time warp where Ant-Man from the future, with Kang and all that? I
yeah,
could see that happening.
that does make sense.
Like an old man Paul Rudd, or they get somebody else. I don't know. It seems like most of these don't have. There's really not many other ones that have question marks. So maybe it was
Mm,
like, I'm not sure. It looks like future Ant-Man, but maybe I don't know.
right.
Or like that's the best way to describe it. It looks like a futuristic Ant-Man, because it
Hmm.
might not be like old man Ant-Man. It might be just like high tech Ant-Man. So
Right.
I don't know.
I mean, I would almost like even instead of a future Ant-Man, it'd be cool to get like a comic version of Scott Lang. But
Hmm.
yeah, hard to tell. And it doesn't say whether these are like Build-A-Figure waves either. So that'll be
Yeah,
interesting if we are still getting Build-A-Figure pieces or not.
yeah.
But at least,
Overall,
yeah.
I don't think it sounds like a terrible wave.
No, I mean, I agree.
I
They've
mean, I
definitely got
think
some.
if you need those MCU characters, MCU Kang might look cool.
Yeah,
I'm curious about a new Ultron.
yeah. I mean, Egghead and Crossfire are both like brand new to the line.
I think they're like low list, which a lot of these guys want those low list bad guys. Like there are probably some people who are going to be stoked about AK,
Right.
just to finally have them, I guess. But
Yeah. I mean, the pictures that Rektangular posted, he just looks kind of like a scientist kingpin. It's obviously a bald dude.
mm-hmm.
And then Crossfire's, I don't know if he's like a Russian. He looks kind of like Deadshot, like a Marvel version of Deadshot.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was remembering. So
Yeah. But I don't know. I mean, that does
yeah,
it for the Ant-Man wave. Then we move into still another, like a partial comic version, partial MCU. This is going to be the Marvels. So we've got an MCU Ms. Marvel. We've got an MCU Captain Marvel. We've got an MCU Photon. So those ones are all designated with the MCU, so we know those will be the movie versions. I'm curious to see what Photon ends up looking like because, I mean, I would hope she kind of looks like that West Coast Avengers
mm-hmm.
style rather than the Doctor Strange version. I just that didn't really seem very photony to me.
Doctor Strange version. What?
Isn't Photon was in the Illuminati, wasn't she?
Oh, I think that was her. Wasn't that the mom
Oh,
character?
maybe.
It was randomly the Photon's mom. But yes, not that costume. I agree. I'd like
Yeah.
to see a different costume.
But then we also get a Commander Rogers and a Karnak, a Novar, and a sentient suit Iron Man. So Karnak, I know people have been asking for the like Inhumans, like getting more characters from there. Not one that I'm going to add to my collection, but I'm glad people that are excited about it are going to get it. One that I am a little bit more excited about is Novar, just because he's kind of in that like Dark Avengers storyline.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping it's that costume, because I would like to put that crew together. Same with the Mighty Avengers that happened before. So I don't know. I'm really hoping that if they give it to us give us that character. It's not going to be some like obscure one, which I think Marvel does a little bit better job than McFarlane. McFarlane will give you the one that you don't want first, and then shortly after put out the one you maybe do want. So I have higher hopes with this. Any here you're particularly interested in, Jordan?
I mean, the Commander Rogers intrigues me just in the sense of, again, it doesn't have that MCU label, so thinking it might be the comic one where he's like head leader of S.H.I.E.L.D., I think. But then that's also when he's like turned into an old man. So that also, I'm like, is there any chance there's some kind of... But I don't think they'd give that away in a toy, so leaning towards comic. I wonder what sentient suit Iron Man is. I mean, it doesn't surprise me. We're getting another Iron Man. I just wonder if that doesn't mean anything particularly to me, that phrase sentient suit Iron Man.
Right.
So I don't know if that's from a particular run or... I don't know.
I mean, the picture that Rektangular had posted with it looks pretty similar to the retro carded Iron Man that came out in like that Wave 1, kind of like that yellow and red, chunkier looking Iron Man.
Which
I don't know.
We need another Iron Man. We haven't gotten enough Iron Man figures.
This isn't going to be the only one on the list either, too. So
I think this wave is going to, for the most part, be a pass for me.
Yeah.
I think some peg warmers I'm sensing.
Yeah. I mean, I think I definitely will be waiting for sales on these ones for sure. And really the only one I'm planning on picking up is possibly Novar. Don't really want to do any MCUs, and these other comic characters are not ones that I've got on my list. But these are actually, this one, the Ant-Man wave, and the next one are all slated to come out for July. So, take the release dates with a grain of salt. There's no way they're putting all three of these out at the same time. But, expect like late spring, summertime for these to start showing up, or at least to be released. Take us into the next one.
Yes, and we have another Disney Plus wave, which is going to give us Secret Invasion, Nick Fury from the new show, a What If Gamora, who we did get a glimpse of, right, at PulseCon.
Yes. And
then we have a Secret Invasion Talos, which I don't think the last Talos sold very well, so
nope.
We got to move these guys. Hawkeye Kingpin, which I have heard people talking about wanting an updated, or an MCU Kingpin, I guess. So I imagine you think he's going to probably have that Hawaiian shirt.
I was going to ask you what you thought if it was going to be a normal suit, like white suit.
Well,
Kingpin.
you know what I know. They'll do the Hawaiian shirt one now, and then later when it's closer to the Daredevil show, he'll get a proper release.
That would be so funny if they put him in a Hawaiian shirt.
Well, I mean, isn't that what he looked like in the show?
Oh, yeah, I just...
You hadn't thought of that?
What? No, I don't imagine that fellow collectors will be too excited about that, yeah.
That's what he looked like, so...
Yeah.
And then we've got Agatha from WandaVision, which I think a lot of people have been wanting for a while. Yeah,
for sure.
And I think that'd be cool. I think she'll probably come with some cool detail, maybe some effects, maybe a book or something, I don't know. So that intrigues me. And then Hawkeye Yelena. Don't really need that, but... Nope. And then the last one, is this like a to be announced? Is that what that means?
Yeah, I don't know what TBC stands for, but just a...
Something hero.
TBD, yeah. Some other hero in this wave.
Trying to think who that could be. Echo?
Yeah. I mean, Echo's getting her own show, isn't she?
There. Yeah.
Yeah, that would make sense.
I don't know. I don't really know who else, especially you do from... I think they kind of exhausted What If and Hawkeye at this point, but...
Right.
I'm intrigued that none of these are listing any one figure as a Build-A-Figure. Do you think that's...
Yeah, I don't know if it just, like, that part wasn't leaked.
Because would Hawkeye Kingpin be the Build-A-Figure? You know? Like,
well,
I could see him if they wanted one.
I think typically when these are leaked, it's, like, in some kind of, like they really only say like the character name. It's like you're buying Hawkeye. They never say, like, even when you're buying stuff, it's not like you're buying Hawkeye Ultron wave. So
Right.
I think it's probably they just don't know the Build-A-Figure that comes with each of these, is my hope anyway. Because I hope they're not doing away with the Build-A-Figures, because that would suck. Because they're probably not going to lower the price if they do, and then you're paying same money
Just
for
as much.
less stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. This wave is going to be a complete pass for me. Not a single one of those I'm even close to interested in. I guess, who knows, maybe the TBD hero, but no, I don't think so. Hopefully it gets a cool Build-A-Figure at least to sell some of those figures. Otherwise, those are going to be probably not much better than the Eternals wave. Because
Ooh, dude, that's a...
what in there is exciting? Like Gamora, okay, I'll give you that one. But Talos, we've already said that one you could buy for $5 from the old version. You want an old looking Nick Fury? Doubt it. Kingpin in a Hawaiian shirt? That's gonna be a meme. Agatha, people have been asking for Agatha, so maybe.
So 1 out of 7?
We don't need another Elena because there's plenty of her that nobody wants. And if it is Echo, people I don't think loved Echo from the show, so that's gonna be a...
Yeah. No, that's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah. My turn to go? All right,
Your
so
turn.
next up, we've got a Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. These are all going to be MCU. So we've got, I mean, really, there's not too many surprises, at least at the beginning. We've got another Star-Lord, which is the 7th Star-Lord we have, if not more. We've got a Drax, we've got a Nebula, a Rocket, and a Mantis. And then the ones that are a little bit newer, more surprising, I guess, is an Adam Warlock. Who's the next person, Jordan? I don't know how to say that.
Raglan, it's the... you remember who he is?
Let me pull up the pictures. It's not ringing a
was
bell
like-
for me.
He's the guy, Yondu's like right-hand guy. Remember?
Oh, okay. That's why I don't remember him. Good.
It's the director, James Gunn's brother, I think.
Yeesh. And then we got a deluxe Groot with wings and a rocket. So... interesting.
What do you think about Groot with wings means?
I mean, I'm surprised that this would... I mean, this one would have almost been tempting to me if it was a comic book version. But if it's like, oh, Groot's kind of like young adult now, because we've had like baby Groot, teen Groot, and he's like grown up a little bit, and now he's going to like sprout wings and like fly around with Rocket. I don't know. I mean, it makes sense. Like, why not? He can grow his arms and stretch and all that stuff. Why not pop out some wings?
They just slap on the Venom wings.
Yeah. I mean, I would think it'd be a little bit more like tree branchy with like
I know. I'm just
leaves,
imagining
maybe?
if
I
they
feel
just
like
paint those brown and green.
yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I almost wish this was more on like that comic pack that you had, the like old,
right.
where he's kind of got more like
yeah.
the crazy hair and
Yeah.
like a bigger, almost monster-ish looking Groot.
Mm-hmm.
Would have been cooler, but yeah, again, we've got so many of these characters. They're going to be in some different leather vest outfit, and yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe,
the only one that I could see people like at this point being excited about is a Mantis, just because
True.
she still goes for like 60 plus. So,
yeah.
but if you got a Mantis right now, might be the time to sell.
These are
But
supposed to be
I
coming
think-
out around April.
Yeah, I think a lot of these agreed are also going to be peg warming.
Yeah.
Like,
'cause,
I don't see these flying off the shelves at all.
I mean, with as much as we talk about having so many Spider-Mans, I mean, Star-Lord has got to be up there with like, I mean, I'm sure it goes like Spider-Man, Iron Man, Wolverine, and Star-Lord's got to be decently close behind. So,
Chris
especially
Pratt, star power.
when he came in with when he was in the Thor wave, that
Thor.
was so pointless. Him and Groot were in the movie for 2 seconds. So, they definitely could have had better figures in there. But anyway, I'll let you take it into the next one, Jordan.
This one also does not appeal to me, but it's a best of MCU, so I'm imagining similar to the Infinity Saga stuff we got,
Yeah.
right? Where it's kind of just one-off figures.
Mm-hmm.
You got a Civil War Iron Man, Civil War Spider-Man, stealth cap, I'm assuming from Winter Soldier, Iron Man Mark II, which I think was his
Is that the silver one?
silver.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so, which is easy because didn't they put out the gold one? Just
Yep.
repaint it silver.
Yep.
Um, and then you got Thor from Thor: Dark World, and these are, it's just hard to read these. And then Nick Fury, which we're getting two Nick Fury MCUs next year, I guess. Winter Soldier, Black Widow, and then an unknown hero. I mean, I see why they're doing it because pretty much all those are re-releases. Because they had the Civil War 3-pack.
I mean, I don't think we have...
the Dark World.
We don't have a very good Thor, do we?
There's a Dark World from the 2-pack. Dark World 2-pack with him and Sif.
I don't remember that.
And then the Iron Man's just a repaint. Nick Fury might be a re-release. Winter Soldier, Black Widow.
I mean, Nick Fury, I think with the only Nick Furies we have... I mean, we'll have this, like, Secret Invasion one where he's, like, kind of older looking, but then we have the younger version from Captain Marvel. Mm-hmm. And isn't that the only like there's the like Ultimates Captain, or not Captain, but the
yeah,
Ultimates
maybe I'm
Nick
getting
Fury.
the Ultimates one confused.
Yeah,
they do both look like Samuel L. Jackson. So,
which isn't that how he got to be in the MCU?
Yeah, they made that joke in the comics. They like modeled him after Samuel L.
Right. Yeah,
I mean,
I agree.
I'm kind. If you're an MCU person, maybe this is like dream come true. Mm-hmm. I think we both lean towards the comics. Mm-hmm. Tried to do an MCU display up here behind me, but it's just too bland. Like it doesn't pop, you know. Like you said, they're all kind of like darker, muted leather jackets, and it looks cool in the movie, but not really too great on the shelf.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean that's all going to be a pass for me. I mean, the only thing that's like even close to tempting is maybe the Thor, just because that was Savannah and I's first date was going to see Thor: Dark World. So like some nostalgia there, but I don't know. It's passable wave. That one's slated to come out around October of 2023, so almost a year from now. So there you go. You got plenty of time to plan for that one if you need them, or just plan a little bit longer and you can get them on clearance, I bet. Then next up, something that I think people are going to be much more excited for is a Spider-Man No Way Home wave. The unfortunate part about this one is it's scheduled to come out December 2023, so over a year from now. Which, like, I guess if that's like the release date, they'll probably show these earlier and like people will be excited about like, oh, these are coming out in like 6 months, and then you get them maybe by next Christmas. But anyway, we've got a Toby, an Andrew, and a Tom. So that's all it says for those. So I would assume that would be in Spider-Man form. I would hope that it's not just 3 different civilian Peter Parkers.
Man, that I didn't even think of that. That would be. Wow.
I don't think, but they've got that 3-pack coming out.
That's what I'm saying. Is that would totally devalue the 3-pack, whether you're wanting to collect them or whether you're just like, which one should I buy? Because you could get, well, I don't know. It may be.
Well, I think what people are expecting is, so when the 3-pack was announced, everybody was like, where's the unmasked heads? Mm-hmm. So they assumed that like we're going to get these 3 Spider-Mans in the future with their unmasked heads. My worry now is, what if instead of the unmasked heads, you're just getting a completely civilian Toby, Andrew, and Tom, and then if you want those heads, you just pop the heads off of Peter Parker and stick it on your Spider-Man.
Right.
I kind of doubt they would do that, because I don't know
though, because Toby has like, everyone made jokes about, you know, he looks like the youth pastor, so it'd be kind of funny.
Right.
Tom Holland would be easy to do it.
They've already got one, so yeah, do it again.
And Andrew, they could give him that Mr. Fantastic lab coat, remember? Because that's kind of his look when they're in the lab, give him like the goggles or whatever.
Yeah.
Because people would kind of want those, but I think that would be enough for them not to be like outright angry.
True. I think if they were going to do that, it would have to be kind of like you're saying with some accessories where like you've got the like option for a lab coat with Andrew and he's got like an alternate head with goggles. You've got, I don't know, maybe Tom comes with a backpack kind of like he did in the 2-pack, but now it's a single release. Toby maybe comes with some like finger gun hands so he can be like, you know, dancing in Spider-Man 3. I think those would maybe push people over the edge, be like, oh, okay, this is actually worth it. Like, I didn't wait for nothing.
Yeah.
But I also wouldn't be surprised if these are like Spider-Man versions of the characters too. So we'll see. I would just hope that there's like some reason why you bought the 3-pack. So like maybe they come with less hands or something, because the 3-pack comes with like everybody gets tons of hands. But anyway, you get your 3 Spider-Mans. You get a Matt Murdock, which I'm assuming is just going to be like lawyer version Matt Murdock.
Mm-hmm.
You get an MJ, which we only have one MJ for.
Yeah. I think people will be happy about that
For
because
sure.
I think she's relatively sought after when she
Mm-hmm.
shows up.
And then we get a Sandman, which like, I kind of worry about that. Like I expect he's just going to be like a sandy looking Sandman. Maybe he'll come with some like accessories, but like Sandman doesn't really do anything in the movie.
Well, you know they did that in the movie because they couldn't get the guy on set.
Oh, really?
So they just made him look like a big sand monster and like never showed him. And even the part they did show him was old footage from Spider-Man 3. So
Wow. I did not know that. Very
they
interesting.
I think they just had him record lines. So I think if they did a Sandman, he'd probably look like from the movie. I imagine.
Okay. Then we get a Green Goblin, so probably going to be in that like tattered Green Goblin. I don't know. Not. I wish they would just put
purple
out.
hoodie thing.
Yeah, I would have preferred a regular, like Spider-Man 1 Green Goblin, but you know, I doubt we're gonna get the No Way Home version of it. But then is he gonna come with a glider? Because I would really doubt it, unless maybe it's like a build a glider. I don't know. But his glider's not that big where that could be a build a figure.
Why wouldn't he come with a glider? Just because?
I don't know. I guess I just am imagining the older version where it's like huge, like just as big as the character. So I guess if it was like a smaller, like the retro Green Goblin, you could give him that glider.
Yeah.
And then you get a deluxe Doc Ock. And the Doc Ock I think comes out earlier. Well, he's scheduled for Q3, so. But I would think he would come out with the rest of the wave. So.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think this is one that people are going to go pretty crazy for, especially if those are Spider-Mans. Those are going to fly off the shelves. Doc Ock is going to fly off the shelf. Matt Murdock probably is not, but I still think people are going to want him and MJ. Sandman probably be the least, but at that point it's like I've got my No Way Home display, like you might as well finish it off. So I would be curious to know what the
hopefully it's an
Build-A-Figure
exact
is.
replica of the Spider-Man 3 Build-A-Figure
Yeah,
Sandman.
that would be interesting. I mean, that would suck, but it would be interesting. I wouldn't be happy with
That
it.
is
But
like the most inarticulated Marvel legend ever.
for sure. I mean, you're just building a statue pretty much. But
Maybe
all right.
Build-A-Figure Lizard.
Oh yeah, okay, I could see that. That would make sense. I thought he was pretty fun in
Lizard's
the
not
show.
on that list.
Yeah, and he would be.
So.
I mean, him and Electro. I mean, I don't know.
Oh yeah, Electro.
I don't know that. I mean, if there was one that I had to like give up, it would probably be Electro. Just because I would imagine that like, I'm sure that probably saves them a ton of money because all that stuff on him would have been a ton of stuff. I mean, maybe they could have reused that for like an MCU Whiplash. But it still is. It's pretty. You're gonna do all that new tooling for one character, not really worth it. So, give us some more Spider-Man, Jordan.
Some more Spider-Man. Well, this one they have an excuse for because the Into the Spider-Verse sequel will be coming out next year. So within that, we are allegedly getting a deluxe Spider-Woman, which is the one that was leaked from a few months back. I don't remember that. But
I don't remember that either. No. Not sure what they mean by that.
Must be in the insider scooper community. Then we're getting a Miles. Makes sense. Main character.
Yep.
Gwen. I get that.
Yep.
Peter. Okay. 2099. That one definitely makes sense.
Yep.
Spider-Punk, which is interesting. And, sorry, I'm just going through them. I'll do my thoughts. A to-be-determined hero and a to-be-determined villain.
Mm-hmm.
So, the only Spider-Verse Miles Well, I guess they had the 2-pack, didn't they? But I know the
Yeah.
single, the Stiltman one, had the hoodie on,
Mm-hmm.
so they didn't have him like with his. I mean, I'm sure they're all going to get different, slightly new costumes.
Yeah.
So that's how the Spider-Man stuff goes. 2099. I don't know. I mean, he seems in the concept art and stuff to look pretty close to his
Mm-hmm.
normal attire, so maybe that'll satisfy people who just want a 2099. Spider Punk, I'm very curious about that too, because as you and I know, that one still goes pretty high on
Mm-hmm.
the aftermarket. So,
Which that one makes sense because like that one, I mean, I had that one in person, and that would probably be towards the top of my like most, I don't know what you would call their
surprising,
thing, but
right?
it
Didn't
was
you
very
think he was
surprising because
not? Yeah.
I was expecting just like a whatever Spider-Man with something, but it's like a completely different head. They retooled the shoes. They retooled like a different hand.
Mm-hmm.
The jacket. It's a pretty good figure for like much better than I was expecting. So it would make sense if they could reuse some of those parts.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, to put it in the animated version, they might just have to make a whole new one too, which is interesting. So I don't know. I'm interested to see what that one ends up looking like. That one and 2099.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then I don't know who the mystery character. Maybe it'd be Spot. I heard Spot's supposed to be the
Mm,
bad guy,
yeah.
which maybe they're like trying to keep that on the DL. I don't know.
Even though he's in like the
Um,
posters and stuff for it.
well, they do that all the time though, where it's like, yeah, like even the promote, like you can't really, even like the Lego sets, it's like
Mm-hmm.
you have to tell your toy designer something,
Right.
otherwise they have you end up with these situations where it's like 2 years later and now we get the toy. So I didn't really love the first wave of Spider Verse figures. I liked the
Right.
animation. I didn't like the figures. Just
Mm-hmm.
I thought they were sculpted kind of odd, sort of flimsy, and I don't know. I wanted to like them more. So maybe these ones will be a little better.
Yeah, I would hope so.
But
I mean, do you think that the to be determined hero is going to be a Ben Riley?
ooh, yeah, that's right because we saw. Even if that one's animated style, I could be tempted by that
Yeah, I think
because
that would probably be the one I would be most tempted to buy. Because did you get rid of your Ben Riley?
the hoodie one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Same. It's just going too hot right
Like,
now. Gotta.
yeah, it's too hot, and it's like I like it, but it's not to me like they're never gonna do better than this. I
Exactly.
think like for you and I, when we keep a figure, it's well either A, we just really like it, or
Mm-hmm.
B, more likely, is like this is the best version
Yeah.
at this point that they can do of this. Because
Right.
like I got rid of the retro Hawkeye recently,
Mm-hmm.
which as we talked about it, I was kind of like, yeah, I think they can do better.
Mm-hmm.
So I could see the Scarlet Spider being a hot seller
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
if that's what they do.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. Definitely
And
the best ones. These are supposed to be coming out in. Where am I at? Spider Verse. August. So
mm-hmm.
not too long. I mean, I would assume they'd be announcing that shortly. All
This
right.
next one's pretty exciting, I
Yes.
think.
So now we're getting into some Avengers stuff, and I don't know, this will be. I'll go through the 60th anniversary.
60th, yeah.
So these are going to be a lot of 2-packs. It seems like. So we're going to be getting a Black Knight and a Circe. We're going to get a Target exclusive Black Widow, a Walmart exclusive Bucky Cap, a Hawkeye and a Sky Cycle, a Hulk and Bruce Banner, an Iron Man Mark I first appearance, a Captain Marvel and Doctor Doom, a Skrull Queen and Super Skrull, a Super Adaptoid 12-inch, and a Thor and the Destroyer. So these are all supposed to be coming out like Q4, I think. Yeah, Q4. So towards the end of next year, giving us lots of time to save up because there's quite a few on here that I think, I mean, I would like personally, and I think a lot of people are going to go crazy for this stuff. But Black Knight and Cersei. I really hope it's a good looking Black Knight. Like I hope it looks similar
Or a
to
new one.
yeah. Like I do not do the same Black Knight they put out with the
Didn't yours leg
my
broke, right?
first one broke, so I sold the broken one to like a customizer. Got a new one. I'm still probably gonna sell that just because I don't trust that mold to not snap the leg off. And like that's why I hope this one looks more like the early Hasbro one, because I did really like that early Hasbro Black Knight. Not really too sure on what Cersei's gonna look like, but I would actually kind of guess that this Black Knight is gonna be like in the jacket. And if it's in the jacket, then I'm kind of like, I don't know that I want that one so bad. Black Widow, don't need it. Bucky cap, tempting. I have never had the old Bucky cap, so I'd be curious to know if they like
The old
reissue it
one's
on the
not
same.
great. I mean, for what it was at the time.
I mean,
But
do you think they would
definitely,
redo it on the Bucky cap mold, or would they do
I
it on
think they
Vulcan?
no. I think they would do a Vulcan one.
Okay,
I don't
so
think
yeah,
they would do a new Buck.
I would be kind of tempted in that one.
Buck, pun intended.
Aha, Buck.
Buck. This
Hawkeye
next one I'm
Sky
excited
Cycle
for.
though.
Yeah.
That one I will probably be picking up. I don't necessarily care so much about the Sky Cycle, but you're going to be able to buy a Hawkeye and Sky Cycle for less than you can pay for the retro Hawkeye. And I hope this Hawkeye looks better than the retro Hawkeye too. So we'll see. Maybe, I mean, updated mold, maybe get some butterfly joints. I've got high hopes for that. Hulk and Bruce Banner, another one that I mean, people have been asking for Bruce Banner for quite a while. It makes sense that it would come in a 2-pack with Hulk. The issue with that is that's probably going to be pretty expensive. Like, Hulk goes for like $40 by himself, then you add 25 for Bruce Banner. At least.
$70.
I think it'll probably end up costing about 70 to 80. So I don't care about Bruce Banner. If I was going to display something, I'd rather have Hulk. So I've got the 80th Hulk. That's what I'm going to go with. But I don't know. It'll be interesting. I mean, it would be cool if it was like the first appearance Hulk, where he's a little bit more like caveman-y looking, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mach 1 Iron Man is one that I've been wanting for quite a while because I like the Mojo Wave Iron Man, but like I know Hasbro could update it and do a better job. So that's one I definitely plan on getting. How about Captain Marvel and Doctor Doom? You planning on that one, Jordan? I know you love Doctor Doom.
I love Doctor Doom. It'll depend on what Doctor Doom is like. I'm not sure why he's with Captain Marvel. I don't know if that's. I guess my other question would be: is that Marvel, Captain Marvel, or is that? I don't know. I'm not sure if there's a significant comic with Doom and Captain Marvel. So
The picture that
Either-
Rektangular posted has Doctor Doom and like the Monica Rambeau.
right, that was my other thought. Was that it was her?
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't. For some reason, I do relate those in my mind. Maybe it's Secret Wars. But I could see that. Sam, I think, would want a Monica Rambeau comic version. So, could be a win-win if Doom is cool.
True.
So, we'll see.
The Super Scrolls and the Scroll Queen. I don't know. I definitely don't care about Scroll Queen, and I don't know if I care enough about Super Scroll to want to get that also. Especially like the picture that he has posted is looks similar to the Super Scroll that Diamond Select is putting out, where he's kind of got like the armor and the cape. I definitely don't want that Super Scroll. I would rather have the one that like the Build-A-Figure that we've got. So, you know, but then you get into Super Adaptoid, and it says 12-inch. That's gonna be big. I mean, being like the same type of box as Surtur, maybe.
Yeah.
The only issue with that, like, I mean, I don't know too much about Super Adaptoid, but like, isn't it just like a giant green character? Like, there's not really much
Yeah,
detail
but
to it.
it depends on what. Like when he's imitating, it's kind of like remember Amazo in Justice League.
Yeah.
He can like copy the Avengers' powers. So like in some instances, he's got like the arc reactor, and then like Captain America's shield, and then like the stripes, and Thor's hammer, and like Hawkeye's man. So they could do it up like that, but yeah, if it was just a blank green guy, it'd be a little boring.
Yeah. And then Thor and Destroyer. we'll see how it looks, but I definitely am budgeting for that one. So
Yeah,
this
which
is
they've only ever done the Toy Biz, right? For Legends.
yeah, and that one, as far as destroyers go, is kind of doo-doo garbage compared to what I think Hasbro has the potential to do. Like it's fun to have the Toy Biz one because he's kind of rare and
Yeah.
it's a chase figure, but it's not something that you're gonna like display with Thor fighting because your Thor is probably gonna be bigger than the destroyer, and that doesn't make much sense. So
And then we've got another wave,
yeah, give it to us, Jordan.
which consists of Ultimate Captain America, which I don't believe, well, I believe was in the Toy Biz. I don't
That was
remember
like
which
Series
series
8.
that
I think it was the
was.
same one as Man Thing.
Yeah. So Ultimate Cap, Extremis Iron Man, which I think we were talking about not too long ago. Just because they made that one. That was early Hasbro days, right? Wasn't it?
Yes,
So they probably could update that one.
for sure.
Molecule Man. I know people have mentioned Molecule Man
I mean,
as
we've seen him already.
right. Yeah. So, well, yeah, because they showed
He was at PulseCon.
when is right. But when is this wave supposed to come out? Do we know?
This wave is rumored for April.
Okay. Molecule Man, Yelena Belova, Black Widow. Do we assume that's a comic version?
I
Can't
would
be another
no,
MCU
yeah.
version.
These have got to be all comic versions.
That's my thought. And then you've got a red trench coat Wonder Man, which I think is actually kind of cool.
Yeah,
I don't, I don't mind the classic Wonder Man, but I don't think the current Hasbro Legend is that great. Had him for a while. Actually sold him recently, so I'd like to see him with the red coat. I think that'd be
yeah.
fun. And then Baron von Strucker, which that's another one that the only one you'd have is the Face Off
Yeah.
from Toy Biz, right? Yeah.
For sure.
So would make sense. Go well with people building the Hydra armies. And then finally we've got the Orb, which they teased, right, with the ray gun.
Yeah, I mean they've shown him
When was
already.
that?
They showed him at PulseCon too.
Oh yeah, they showed. I guess I kind of forgot about those characters because it's like
Yeah,
not gonna get those. Don't need to think about it.
for
So
sure.
I don't know.
I'm excited for some of
There's-
these for sure. Like I definitely want Extremis Iron Man, and I think same with everybody else. That's one. I don't know. You'll probably see it at stores, but it's gonna be probably the hottest one in this wave. Like you said, I definitely want the red trench coat Wonder Man because, like I had said earlier too, and same with Extremis Iron Man, they go in that mighty Avengers team. Baron von Strucker makes a lot of sense to redo because that old one sucks. The proportions on him are terrible. Elena again. Why? I don't know. Ultimate Captain America. Kind of excited by that. I don't know. It's. I'll have to see him, but like I've got the Ultimate Iron Man, the Ultimate War Machine. I really do like the Ultimate Comics. It'll probably just depend on the price. Maybe I'll try to find him loose. It'd be interesting to see what Build-A-Figure these come with if this is a Build-A-Figure wave, because I would hope it'd be like some giant Build-A-Figure villain or maybe a Goliath or something that's, I don't know. Maybe we'll have to do a speculation on some of these Build-A-Figure waves.
Think you're dreaming if you think you're gonna get a Build-A-Figure Goliath.
Well, I'm not expecting him to be huge, but just like like put him like a little bit more than a head above Captain America.
Yeah, I guess.
Not asking for anything like huge like Toy Biz, but something a little bit bigger. So yeah, this is supposed to be coming out in April. So
yeah,
again, like I guess I don't know for sure if these are like street dates of like when these are supposed to hit toy store shelves, or if these are when they're going to be announcing them, because that seems like a pretty quick turnaround. I mean, I guess we're only in October, so they could. I don't know. I guess they've rarely done things where like with the Thor Build-A-Figure Korg wave, that one was like in stores before they announced it. So
yeah,
I wish they would do that more, honestly. Like stop with these like year in advance pre-orders and just be like, hey, this is ready to ship, buy it tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
I wish, but I think it's going to be a rare thing. Anyway, getting into some other kind of randomish ones. We've got a Fantastic Four 2-pack. Who is this? Valeria
and Franklin. It's their Miss Fantastic and Invisible Woman's children.
Okay, and they're speculating this is where the Moloid head comes from that they teased in one of those last.
Future Foundation stuff, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. This one's scheduled for Q4, end of the year next year. I don't know. People have been asking for like updated Kid Bucks. So maybe this is going to lead to like some Power Pack figures in the future or stuff like that, but definitely not something I think either one of us are going to pick up. No. And then we've also got a Marvel Knights wave. This one we don't have any characters leaked for it. This is supposed to be coming out in November next year, so I would assume like probably going to get like a Daredevil, maybe an Elektra, maybe the red Elektra like on that updated white one that we're getting. I'm kind of surprised if we got another Bullseye, but kind of those street level characters.
Blade, Ghost Rider.
Yeah, I mean maybe a Power Man, Iron Fist. Are they Marvel Knights?
I don't know if they are.
I just kind of thinking street level.
I don't really.
Maybe Robbie Reyes. Isn't he a Marvel Knights?
Human form.
Human form. No, I don't think they would put him in here, but.
Oh man.
That was a little off topic
Ryan,
here.
if you're listening, sorry. Dakota doesn't know what he's talking about.
I don't think that was bad. That was fine. All right, but just a little off topic. I was gonna say if you haven't listened to Boog's interview with the HasLab team, the part 1 and part 2, it's very interesting. The second part, I can't remember if it was Dan or Ryan. One of them was saying, because he was asking about, Boog was asking like, are we gonna get more legendary riders like on either motorcycles or smaller vehicles, like something like smaller vehicles that doesn't have to be a HasLab, and they were saying, like their response was, if we saw the interest in the HasLab for Ghost Rider stuff, shortly after would be like a fast-tracked Danny Ketch. So if the HasLab doesn't happen, it's kind of like, but does that mean that you don't think there's enough interest in Ghost Rider to give a Danny Ketch, even though that's probably what people would prefer? So I don't know. That was interesting to me. I don't know if it sounds like it's planned, but it sounds like it would be planned a lot sooner which makes sense too, because like you would want your Danny Ketch to come out. But I don't think
the thing, obviously the metric for the HasLab failing isn't we don't like Ghost Rider.
Right.
It's just it's a lesser known Ghost Rider, and B, you kind of rolled it out weird. So
right.
That would be disappointing, I think, to me, because I would love to see a Danny Ketch Ghost Rider in the Marvel Knights wave.
Yeah. But I would like to see him on a motorcycle, though. So unless it's like a Build-A-Figure motorcycle, but...
Got my Toy Biz one, still pretty good.
Okay. Well, it
really is that first.
That makes sense. I was going to say, you apologized for me saying Robbie Reyes is going to be it, and you said they roll out the HasLab weird. Come on, Jordan.
Well, sorry, Ryan.
All right,
Ryan's like, these guys. And then we have the fan channel Modern Moon Knight, which we got.
Yep, that's...
Is that Wednesday? This week? Is that this week?
Yes.
Maybe.
I think it came out Monday.
So that one has come true. If you want it, you can still go get it, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's not coming out until 6 months from now, so...
And
you still remember who Moon Knight is.
Yeah. What, did he have a show? Fan channel, Gamerverse, Spider-Man 2, Peter. Mm-hmm. So I can see them doing this because I don't know if you were aware of the game controversy where on PS4 he looked a certain way, a little older, and they kind of gave him a more youthful motion capture actor, changed his face on PS5. So the nerds were kind of revolting about that change. But I could see them, if it's Spider-Man 2, he'll have that updated face, for better or for worse. And you spend a lot of the time in the game, going through Peter's life and stuff, so that kind of makes sense. And I could see people wanting that, because they really don't have a ton of Spider-Man game figures. Like, they've got
Yeah.
Spider-Man, they've
Uh huh.
got Miles and they've got Invisible Miles, and
Yeah.
that's really it.
True.
So, and
I
that
mean, were
game had like the
those?
whole Sinister Six in it. So,
I don't have them down here anymore. But was the what were those in Vulture Wave? Like the armored Spider-Man costumes? Were those Gamerverse? The like mock
oh
whatever?
yeah, I guess there were those
Those two.
two. They were just alternate suits. Those weren't like part of the story or anything, though. They were
Okay.
just like I think they were suits designed by an artist for the game,
Hmm.
so that's why they did those. But I don't know. Makes sense,
Yeah. I mean, these are
I
supposed to be
guess.
coming out, or this is supposed to be coming out Q2. So,
Hmm.
middle of next year.
And then we have another wave, which I know we've got a lot of Spider-Man, but here's some more. So, supposed to be seeing Ben Riley Spider-Man, probably his new version, because in the past couple years he came back. I think I sent you a picture of him where he's got like the big old spider,
Mm-hmm.
like it's like slightly off center.
Yeah.
I didn't really love that suit, but
No, me neither.
Spider Woman, we don't know what version that is.
I would
I don't
hope it's
think.
that like red and yellow one, just because like
Yeah,
that one came out in the Hobgoblin wave, I think, and it's definitely due for an update.
yeah. So you got her, you got the Elektra Daredevil, which I think is actually a cool costume where she
Yep.
takes over in the past couple years. So she's got kind of like that bandana and the mouth mask, and she looks cool. And I
Mm-hmm.
think people liked that portrayal of the
Yeah.
character and depiction. So
Agreed.
makes sense. The Rose. Have you read up on the Rose since we talked
I have
about
not read up on the Rose at all.
it? He's um, Wilson Fisk's son, I believe Richard Fisk, and he kind of becomes a crime boss in his own right. Kind of a low level guy, but I think he had some big stories in the 80s. They tried to do stuff with him. So
Okay.
then a new suit Miles, which I think we talked about this one a little bit, where he kind of had a brief redesign. I think
Mm-hmm.
in the more recent comics.
I think this one looks
Um,
cool.
yeah, yeah. Another Miles. Sam loves Miles, so we might need to get him. Then we got Tarantula, which have we seen in a Legend?
I don't think so. I know people have been
Or
asking
was it a
for one.
Toy Biz? I don't remember.
It
Yeah.
definitely wasn't Toy Biz. I mean, maybe there was like one of those
Early?
like rare 2-pack Toys R Us exclusive.
That's what I think I'm thinking of. Like that seems like that was a weird era for
Yeah.
I don't know. So if you want Tarantula, here you go. And then Chasm, who's a relatively recent character.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't read those comics, but I've kept up with the fact that Ben Riley came back and somehow he's corrupted, kind of, and he's now going to be part of some upcoming Spider-Man crossover where he's evil.
Mm.
So
Yeah, I mean this
I don't
one.
really love what they're doing with the character, but I think his suit looks cool.
Yeah, the suit looks awesome. I mean, that was one that when that suit got first like announced, Clay sent me a picture and was like, "I hope they make this character." And like at the time, I was like, "There's no way they would take like a brand new character like this. This is way too cool." But not long after, here we go. This is
Mm-hmm.
another exciting wave, and I mean, I definitely don't need the Rose. Don't care about Tarantula, but everybody else in this wave is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's a good Spider-Man wave. It's not
Oh,
going to
for
be
sure.
like really more Spider-Man. It's like oh, that
Yep.
makes sense.
Yeah, I agree. And this one's
And then,
scheduled for August.
mm-hmm. And then the last of, well, I guess we did the. Is this the last of the fan channel? No, we've got more of those. Never mind. It's a 2-pack with Hyperion and Doctor Spectrum, which I know people. The old Hyperion is still going for quite a bit,
Mm-hmm.
50, 60. So, and then rumors of him showing up in the MCU, so that might generate some interest.
Right.
I doubt that. I don't know if that's coordinated, but
Maybe.
I'm kind of lost on Doctor Spectrum, trying to remember who he is.
He's kind of like a rainbow. He's in like the same team. He's got like a blue mask with like a yellow arm, a red arm, and like green bottom half. He's kind of like, I don't know. I don't remember it very well, but it seems kind of Green Lantern-ish.
Mm.
But instead of just like all green, it's just like the full spectrum of the rainbow, pretty much. Um, I don't know. I definitely don't care
You
about
definitely know
Hyperion.
they were on something in the '70s when they came up with that.
True. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, Hyperion is whatever. I don't have any attachment to him. Spectrum, Dark Spectrum. Again, I think he looks cool in the comics. I just don't know how that's going to translate into action figure form. So we'll see. Probably not going to pick him up though. But now that we've kind of gotten through all of the Spider-Man stuff, now let's get into some X-Men. So this is the X-Men 97 wave scheduled for September. And there's really not much of a surprise here. You're going to get a Wolverine, you get a Rogue, a Storm, Gambit, Magneto, and Bishop. The one I'm most excited for there is Magneto. I'm curious if these are going to be cell shaded because they said they're not going to do any more of the VHS box X-Men this upcoming year, and they're going to switch to Spider-Man, which I don't know if you saw my text, but in that interview that Boog did with the Marvel team, they made it sound like all of those VHS Spider-Man figures are going to be 2-packs. So I'm curious on how that's going to work. But anyway, I don't know. I think we've got plenty of Wolverines. I don't need Rogue. I don't need Storm. I've got a Gambit. I've got a Bishop. So I don't know. What do you think there, Joe?
Magneto, well, it looks like. Did you see the art for '97 when
is this
they
going to be
announced
like
it?
the like?
He's in that purple suit with the big M on it.
Oh,
I
dang
don't.
it!
There's no, dude. It's not going to be a classic red and purple.
Son of a gun. Well,
I'm passing.
yeah, that's a complete pass for this wave for me. I don't know. I'm definitely going to watch the show. I'm super excited about it.
Yeah.
But I don't like that costume for Magneto. That just looks so boring compared to his regular Bishop I've got. They're not going to really improve on that. And like I said, the other one's same. I mean, Gambit, they could, I don't know, I just don't think that even if they gave him a soft goods cloak, it just still wouldn't be good.
Yeah, most of those for me even are kind of boring, I think.
Yeah. But I'm going to take the next one just because I had a crappy wave. We're going to get into this comic X-Men wave. This one, much more exciting. This is supposed to be coming out in May. We've got an astonishing X-Men Cyclops and an astonishing X-Men Emma Frost, which I know people have been wanting some of those costumes, I think mostly for like Beast and Wolverine, so maybe we'll be getting those. But they definitely could put out a new Emma Frost because the only like white X-Men version is that old Hasbro, like probably top 5 ugliest figures ever. So definitely due for an update. We've gotten like the black suit and then the Hellfire Club one, but this is kind of her more X-Men look. Then we've got a Corsair, which people have been wanting Starjammers, so they're going to be excited about that. We'll see if we get some more coming with him. A Kid Omega, which I'm surprised by. A Monet, which if you watch back to, I don't even remember which episode we were talking about, or I was trying to remember who Monet was. Oh, it was like, we were talking about Blackheart. I think she's like Blackheart's sister or something. Because he like, he like possesses her and then she has to like suck out Sabretooth's energy or something.
Oh, right.
And you were like, Dakota, what are you on? Comic books, Jordan.
Real.
Then you get a Chamber, which I've always thought that was just like I've never read anything with the Chamber, but looking at the character, I'm just like, that looks stupid. And then Fang, which will probably come with a Wolverine head. So I think Fang is like, isn't that like a clone or a son or some Wolverine type?
Yeah, something like that. Oh, Chambers got like he's vomiting acid.
Right. And it's just like it's like permanently there. So like
he just is always blasting something out of his mouth.
Right. So I don't know. This will be a decent wave. I think people are excited for half these figures. You know, it would blow my mind if they did a Sabretooth Build-A-Figure. That'd be sweet. Not gonna
Caliban buck?
Yeah, I'm not gonna hold my breath for it, but that would be sweet. Or the that like Starjammer Lizard guy would kind of make sense too, because I feel
Yeah.
like they could reuse some parts from the Abomination.
Yeah.
So I don't know, some decent figures there. Probably, I don't know. I'll probably wait for a loose or a sale on most of these. Like I'm kind of on the fence about Cyclops and Emma. Corsair could be cool. I really only know him from the cartoon. So
Right.
all right, take it over for probably the next exciting news, Jordan.
60th anniversary. We've got a deluxe blob, which makes sense. That one has been for a while at 200 plus.
Yeah.
So I've seen some people selling them for like 150, 180 now.
Yeah.
So people, because they pretty much confirmed, right, without saying it. Like, oh, who's going to round out this Brotherhood team? It's like,
right.
Blob.
And like he's probably the second most expensive Build-A-Figure. Well, I guess maybe. I mean, Fin Fang Foom is at the top, but then Blob has got to be in contention for number 2, right? Maybe Toy Biz Sentinel.
Pit.
Oh yeah, okay, Pit. I guess if you're
and the Build-A-Figure Sandman that I sold for $220. But
which
still,
is ridiculous.
Now that Blob, I think, he's. I mean,
but now, do you think we're going to be getting a brand new Blob, or is this going to be the same Blob just reissued, maybe slightly different paint? What do you think, Jordan?
I don't know. Part of me hopes they would update it, but I could see them not.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like that one's not a bad figure. Like, yeah, there could be more articulation, but like, how dynamic of a pose are you putting your Blob into? So I don't know. People would probably be upset if it was the same, but then like also like how much are you going to complain? Like, do you have one yet? Are you going to pay $250 for that one? Probably not. So why don't you just buy this one for 40 or 50, however much it is? Kind of like they did with
like 50, I bet.
Yeah, because I mean, like they did the same thing with Terrax, where they just like update the paint, and like I guess that's kind of the thing is like their paint is like better applied now, so some of those figures are going to look better.
Yeah,
it's just you're not going to get like new articulation, but I don't know. We'll see. Who knows?
Yeah.
You want to do the 5-pack too?
Then a 5-pack of Strife, who we saw at PulseCon, so we know for sure that this is going to probably be true. Vertigo, Pretty Boy, Random, your guy, and Zero. I will say for me, none of those appeal to my interests, so I'm a pass. But I know people love Strife.
Yep.
And I know Random has at least one fan named Dakota. I'm not sure on Pretty Boy and Vertigo, unless you know who they are.
Pretty Boy is... I'm not sure if he's the last, but he's another one of those Reavers characters to round out that team with your Bonebreaker and those guys. So, which I don't know. I guess haven't read anything with Random, but like he seems like he's always been a hero in things I've seen. So it seems weird to add him in with this. Same with like Pretty Boy. He's like a part of the Reavers, but like kind of randomly throwing him in here. I guess maybe Strife and Zero and Vertigo work together, but I kind of imagine them more in like that like Vertigo is that like green and white chick that is in like the Savage Land in the animated series episodes.
Seems like different groups.
Yeah, and Zero is going to be a super easy figure for Hasbro to make. It's just a white figure with like circle on his chest, circle on his face, and that's it. Maybe he'll come with it because I think he like teleports. So we'll see if we get like teleport effects, which I'd be shocked.
Yeah.
But Random, I'm excited for him. I would probably get this and keep Random. I kind of like Zero for some reason. Never read a single thing with him. I just had like the X-Men cards. And I remember him being one of the characters that I thought looked really cool. No interest in a Vertigo or a Pretty Boy. And hopefully if Strife is going expensive on this, like if he's the one that people are wanting to keep and he's like the most expensive out of the pack, maybe I can sell him to kind of make my money back on the figures that I did want. So, I don't know. I'll probably end up getting that one, but, you know, really excited for a couple, not excited for a couple. So, But those are scheduled to come out in Q2, so middle of next year. Then sticking kind of with that X-Men theme, we're going to get a fan channel exclusive Outback Rogue, which I think people have kind of wanted. I don't know. I'm not a huge Rogue fan, so I know some people really
Same.
love Rogue and Emma Frost, and I don't know. I'll let them enjoy their comic book girls.
Madeline Pryor.
I'll stick to the real thing. I don't know. So that's coming out also Q2. Then you're also going to get these ones. We've seen some of them in digital render. So we're going to get 2 3-packs of X-Men in their yellow suits, which I think is probably a good way to do this, because rather than putting out just like one in this costume in this wave, one in another wave, one a year later,
You just knock them out all at once.
we're getting them all at once here. So the first 3-pack is going to be Forge, Jubilee, and Storm. And this is in that, like, they showed Storm at PulseCon, so it's going to be in that same costume. And then the second 3-pack is going to be Banshee, Gambit, and Psylocke. And then even that like new retro carded Wolverine is going to be in the same suit as them. So that's 7 figures right there for you. And I mean, that's a pretty complete team.
I have seen some people be like, this is the era of X-Men I grew up with, so like,
Right.
if you saw them in those costumes when you were young, like, it would make sense to be like, I'm not like upset with them for making these ones, just because, like you said, they did it in 2 3-packs, so that way if you don't want them, you don't have to mess with them at all. It's
And then
just
if you do want them, you've got them in such, like, it's in one spot. So this, I really love that they're doing this. Again, like, I have no interest in that suit. We've kind of talked about it before, where I like the individuality of the characters in their own suits, kind of like from the animated series. But it works really well because there's not like, oh, I want that figure, but I don't want these others from this wave. It's like, I want none of that, or I want all of this, and I want to complete my team, and you complete it all at once. So kudos to Hasbro for doing that. I think that's very good. And that wraps up all of the leaks. So definitely one of our longer episodes. We're just over an hour in now. So, that's a lot. So you got something to budget for now. I mean, I don't know. Out of all of these, what's some of your like big ones that you're excited for here, Jordan?
My brain goes right to Hawkeye.
Yep.
With the Sky Cycle. Probably Wonder Man.
Yep.
With the red trench coat. And another third.
Any of those Spider-Man characters tickling your fancy?
Oh, yeah. I don't know. It would depend on if they did a really cool Scarlet Spider with the wave, but that's speculatory. So.
Right. I think my top 3 would be random, although I am a little upset that he's in a 5-pack. I would also agree and say Wonder Man, which, like, I really hope that trench coat still gives him some articulation. So a little worried there, but high hopes.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to say Thor and the Destroyer. Even though I'm excited also for like Extremis Iron Man, some of those Spider-Man characters, Elektra as Daredevil. But I've got high hopes for a Destroyer. I'm hoping it's big. Like, I mean, we've got a 12-inch Super Adaptoid. I'm not saying I need a 12-inch Destroyer, but give me something.
Something substantial.
Yeah. I mean, maybe like similar size as the Obadiah Stane Ironmonger size, because he's pretty big. So give me something that size. All right. Make sure that you're subscribed on YouTube so you're entered into the giveaway for a poster from Daryl Young. We're going to have him on the podcast shortly for an interview. Make sure you're following on all of the audio platforms. Go over to Instagram, follow us at The Strong Collectors. And until next time, stay strong.